Hello and welcome to the Gen2 Draft League Week 3 match review. I am joined as ever by Carter.
That's me.
Hi, Carter. And today, we're going to be doing what it says in the title. We're going to review the Week 3 matches from the Gen2 Draft League. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Our first matchup here is the Black Death versus the Sunny Shore Wakes. Now, Carter, as the captain of the
Oh,
Black
that's
Death,
me.
this is your match. You want to talk a little bit about the brings in this match?
Sure, I'd love to talk about the brains in this match. Yeah, I brought Celebi and Vileplume, so two grass types. Um, they both give me like slightly different advantages here in this matchup. Celebi is mainly like just matches well into my cargo because I have access to earth power. But it's also just generally bulky against the team. Like mag cargo is the only problem. It's the only like grass coverage that she had on this team. So bringing two grass types made a lot of sense. Vileplume just matched really well into everything, and that's why in my practice I discovered that like I could just lead Murkrow Vileplume, and it just pretty much always worked out. Um, and it was pretty close, but that did carry over into the actual match. I brought Sneasel just in case she went for like a niche kind of like Terra Dark Porygon 2 kind of play, which she did not do. I wouldn't have thought that she'd do that because I have Heracross, and so it'd be like kind of dangerous to Terra Dark in front of that when you're weak to fighting in both cases. But I thought just in case she does that, because if she did do that, if she did like Terra Dark Porygon 2 in front of Murkrow, then it's like, yeah, I can't taunt that. Um, and then yeah, everything else kind of standard. I think I did Terra Normal Heracross. I didn't end up using it. I pretty much just used the Murkrow, Vileplume, Typhlosion, Celebi, um, brings, and that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I think interesting on the Sunny Shore Wake side, we have a lot of Terra Ghost, like two Terra Ghost, both the Porygon and the
They do make sense. They both make sense.
Porygon.
Like Terra Ghost is what you always want to do in Porygon, and then I hadn't considered it for my cargo, but it also makes sense to be immune to fighting
Immune
from
to the
Heracross.
fighting moves. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And Steel is great for Azumarill. Um,
Yeah, but I had practiced against a Terra Steel Azumarill, so that was pretty great to see that. This was the exact set that I had practiced against too, like all of these brings
mm-hmm.
specifically.
And Fairy is interesting for Venusaur. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I had
no.
not predicted that. I don't understand what that's about.
I mean, it's a perfectly fine defensive type. It doesn't make you resist any of your weaknesses, but
I
it
don't
also doesn't give you any like it does. There's no matching
know.
vulnerabilities. So
I don't really like it. I guess it maybe it makes sense against like Murkrow if you're doing it offensively. I don't know, because what are you doing? Terra Blast, Terra Fairy? I don't really get that. And I don't like it specifically against my team because of Vileplume. Like, the Venusaur Vileplume, it never happened, but that sort of
makes the
interaction
matchup worse. Yeah,
makes it worse for you if you go Terra Fairy. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. Well, let's see how the action pans out. Excited to get into this series. So to lead, we have the aforementioned Murkrow Vileplume, and then the Wakes respond with Golden. Why am I reading? Sometimes I just read the names instead of the Pokemon names. We have Golden Girls and Pepto Bismol, who are in fact Azumarill and Magcargo. So let us see how this plays out. We have an instant Terra Steel from Azumarill to protect it from the poison type moves
Yeah.
from Vileplume. Thunderwave goes into that slot, slowing down the Azumarill. which should allow Vileplume to move first, as well as give that Azumarill a chance to miss sometimes. Then we see the Sludge Bomb, but the immunity from the Terra Steel means that will not have any effect. Heat Wave comes out from the Mag Cargo and double misses. Oh yeah,
This
this was
is both.
insane.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
The double miss Heat Wave. Very unlucky. What does that move? 80% to hit?
90.
90% to hit? Okay, yeah, so that's very
Yeah.
unlucky. That's like you rolled two
Extraordinarily so.
10-sided dice and you rolled 2 1s. So yeah, that's not great. Especially because it would have done some good damage to Vileplume. But yeah, and
Yeah,
then we
pretty
see
good.
the Play Rough come out
Yeah.
from Azumarill, knocking
Just
out
takes
the
out my micro.
Murkrow instantly in one hit.
Probably should have seen that one coming.
And then Typhlosion comes out. With Frisk, it's going to reveal Choice Band and Charcoal, respectively. Okay, so Choice
Yeah,
Band,
which is good information for me because now I know that she's locked into play rough.
yes, yeah, can't switch out of that move, which is important because otherwise, Typhlosion would be at some risk from those water type attacks. Turn 2, we will see Azumarill switch out to not be locked into that move, I'm sure. The Eruption comes out from Typhlosion. It does a little bit of damage to both, 20 to the Mag Cargo and 40 to the Porygon that just switched in. And then from the Vileplume, what will we see? It's a Giga Drain into Mag Cargo, gets another 45% off of that, and the Heat Wave comes out, this time hitting both slots, the Vileplume down to 50. So this is where, yeah, that Heat Wave miss kind of sucks because this Vileplume, it's probably a
Yeah.
roll, to be honest, since it's exactly 50% on the Heat Wave attack, but there's a chance that this Vileplume could have gone down at that moment. But now we see the switch out of the Mag Cargo into Ampharos, Terrifier from Typhlosion, and the Eruption. That's going to do some big damage to Ampharos. Not a
Yeah,
very safe
just
switch.
that extra damage on the Terrifier because I lost some HP.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, actually, I don't think Vileplume dies because the Giga Drain heals. I did kind of forget
Yeah.
that. So even if you did 50% on each attack, like
Yeah, I still wouldn't have
the
died.
heal would keep you up. So yeah, this Eruption does pretty solid damage, but we are going to see, I think, a Trick Room coming out from this Porygon. Sludge Bomb goes into the Porygon.
Yeah, I was really trying to
Lives.
get rid of the Porygon. It did not quite do it.
Yeah. Barely lives there with only 3% remaining, and the Trick Room does go up. So now the Wakes have a little bit of Trick Room time to play with. You or the Black Death switches
I'm
to
basically trying
Typhlosion
to
now.
burn the Trick Room now. I
Yeah.
switched into Celebi because I know it's kind of free. What with the electric type moves and all that.
Yeah, resist that Thunderbolt, which was going into that slot. Vileplume's actually faster than Ampharos in the Trick Room. So Vileplume
Faster
having...
than Porygon.
Oh,
Ampharos went
sorry.
first.
Right. My bad. So yeah, it does finish off that Ampharos, and it's faster than Porygon in the Trick Room. And Porygon's 65 speed. Porygon's not like Trick
Yeah.
Room speed, really.
Yeah, Porygon's just a good Trick Room setter because of the Eviolite and everything.
Yeah.
You know,
In
the
this...
bulk doesn't make it good in Trick Room.
In the Gen 2 speed tiers, Porygon's not
Yeah.
a fast Trick Room Pokemon. There are, in more powerful formats.
Yeah, and higher speed formats for sure.
Yeah. So let's see what Porygon's going to go for. Uses a recovery, gets it built back to 53%. Now we see the Pepto-Bismol, aka Magcargo, coming back out. Has 3 turns of Trick Room to play with and can threaten both of these grass types with that Heat Wave damage, and this Pokemon will be certainly slower than anything on the Black Death side. So the Heat Wave will go into that Vileplume. We've seen it before. It does about 50%, this time 48%. So it's definitely a roll.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I knew I could survive that Heat Wave. I mean, the Heat Wave isn't doing that much to Vileplume, even at super effective damage, because I got the Assault Vest, so I can survive like 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
Well, I can survive 2 of them.
Okay, yeah,
it
that
takes
makes a
3 to
lot of
kill me.
sense. I didn't realize it was Assault Vest, but yeah, that does
Oh,
make a
yeah.
lot of sense. Keeping this Vileplume really, really tanky. And then you go the Giga Drain into the Magcargo, finishing it off. really just that Assault Vest flips that matchup on its head, and then the Ice Beam goes in the
Yeah,
Vileplume, and it just tanks it again. Yeah, that Assault Vest is huge. It makes a big difference, I think,
yeah.
with how much you can tank up. Now uh, the Azumarill comes back out. Um, is this hard for Vileplume to deal with, being Terra Steel, but the
Being Terra Steel, yeah,
paralysis?
because I don't have the sunny day, which would have been my answer
Yeah, yeah. The
with the weather
paralysis
ball.
is going to pose a problem for Azumarill, though. It can't
Truly.
consistently get its
Well,
move off.
it does make it slower in Trick Room, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's not going to be. Okay, let me see where we are at.
Or
So,
yeah,
did you
faster in Trick
double
Room.
protect? Yeah, double protect from
Yeah, I double
Celebi.
protect, which is actually I wasn't even doing that. I think I just forgot that I'd protected the last turn, and so I just went for it again. But it worked out.
I mean, this is good. It's definitely good to double protect a Trick Room if you can manage it. But I got a little lucky there with that protect coming out. The attack from the liquidation goes into the Vileplume, finally finishing it off. And Porygon just goes for a recover. So, funnily enough, that double protect actually doesn't contribute anything. Because
No,
no.
because they weren't targeting me. I probably
Yeah.
should have just attacked with an Earth Power there.
But now we see Typhlosion back on the field. There's one more turn of Trick Room, so we'll see if the Azumarill can take out this Typhlosion on the one turn. But I believe this is a protect, an easy protect. We'll keep that Typhlosion alive. Liquidation. Looks like the Wakes are recognizing the protect threat and focusing those attacks into Celebi, but the liquidation
Hmm.
is about 33%, triggering the Citrus Berry, ultimately resulting in very little damage. The Ice Beam will do another 30, or almost 40% damage, and then the Earth Power comes out, targeting that Azumarill, doing more than half, 60%, which means as the Trick Room goes down, this Azumarill is going to be unable to protect itself, locked into the liquidation after all from that choice band, and the Hex goes first. We actually see a nasty plot from Celebi, worried about, I guess, a stall game from this
Yeah,
Porygon.
yeah. Basically, I knew I was really trying to play it safe here because I didn't want to just like assume I had it. The first instinct was to go for the heat wave, but I thought if I miss the heat wave, I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah,
So I went for the hex, which was like 100% accurate. And then the nasty plot's playing the long game against Porygon because if Porygon finishes off Typhlosion, then it could be a problem.
yeah, definitely. I mean, you need to get that damage output up because if your damage is less
Because I'm so
than
low
your
right now. Yeah,
recover,
like I'm never gonna out wall it at this rate. Like
yeah,
with
yeah,
he's already got a head start.
yeah. If your damage is less than a recover, it could be
Yeah,
pretty dicey. So yeah, we're gonna see that heat wave come out 44% and gets the burn. Really nice luck
nice,
there.
nice lucky burn.
And then the energy ball does 45%. So yeah, it
This
is
is
actually
this
less than a
part that's
recover,
kind of
even
crazy.
with the
This
nasty
game
plot.
ends in a wild way. Actually, I just remembered.
The ice beam
Yeah,
finishes
because
off
the ice beam does
Celebi.
finish off Celebi. The nasty plot ended up being kind of consequential there, but what happens here is I just protect because I know I can't affect it with Hex or Shadow Ball. I have really low HP, so I'm worried that an eruption just doesn't even like do enough damage. Like I was really worried that the eruption would be like, oh, it's like 3% or something, it doesn't quite do it. But I figured, since she's burned, I can just protect and wait out the burn. But if she just clicked
You
recover
recover,
here,
you
she would
would
have just
have.
won.
Yeah, she probably would have won. But yeah, the Thunderbolt goes into the to protect, and then the burn finishes off
So it
the
was a really
Porygon.
risky play, but it worked.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
think
honestly, I probably could have just
I
gone for the
think you.
eruption. But I
I
figured
think
like
the
if I didn't
eruption
kill
was
her
the
and she
right
killed me,
choice. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
probably. But
Because
if
if
I mean it's 11%, I didn't want to take that gamble
yeah, I mean
because I don't really know what like the minimum like base power for eruption is. But she was at like 2% HP or something. I don't know.
yeah, that was a crazy protect because I feel like protecting there is actually probably one of the only ways you could lose. Because I mean, yeah, the
Yeah.
eruption might not do enough, but or the heat wave might miss, but like you should take that chance. I mean, I don't think that
Yeah,
Robin
I
would have
wasn't
been
even thinking
thinking
about
that
recover. To be honest,
about.
I was not even considering recover at all.
I don't think Robin was thinking about it either. She probably assumed the game was over. Just went for a Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
okay,
probably.
interesting. I mean, it ended up being a really close game. Like things like the double heat wave miss at the start, maybe it matters. Like in a game that's that long like that. You did also get pretty bad luck on the paralysis though. No full paras in like three
That's true.
or
That's
four of
true.
your
Not a single
attacks.
one.
Yeah, so the luck gives and the luck takes. Also, the burn on the heat wave ended up winning you the game,
It did. It
kinda.
did.
Although
Kind of.
you would have had another chance to do that anyway. But yeah, let's look at game two and see what the mix-ups will be. We see Murkrow, Vileplume lead once again. No reason to change that up. This time Porygon and Magcargo once again same leads. What will happen this time around? We see the taunt into the Porygon, which makes a lot of sense. Oh, I'm saying yeah, the game froze for a
Yeah, because
while.
my computer like froze and I had to reset it.
Yeah, but in the replay, you cannot tell that that had happened. Um,
Yeah, I was surprised that it didn't like boot me out of the game when I just restored my tab.
yeah, yeah. The Wakes, anticipating the taunt, go for the Thunderbolt into Murkrow. Will it be a Sludge Bomb? It goes
I
into.
actually I feel bad about this one because I forgot that rock resists poison. So tough.
Oh yeah. So not an ideal move. Only doing about 25% to that Magcargo, and then the Heat Wave will come out, landing on both Pokemon this time. Let's go, Magcargo. Here comes Typhlosion out of the back, switching in for the Murkrow. We will see another Thunderbolt from Porygon, getting the instant paralysis into Typhlosion. That does not feel good. A Giga Drain this time going out into this Magcargo, doing about 46, so Magcargo down to 28. We should see yet another Heat Wave. This will be resisted by the Typhlosion, but Typhlosion down to 48, and Vileplume sitting at 32. That Giga Drain heal plus the Assault Vest really keeping this Vileplume around for the long haul. Now we're going to see another switch, actually. A pivot into the Ampharos. Heat Wave coming out from Typhlosion. Does a 55
Yeah, I
or
don't.
40.
This was probably a bad pivot because Ampharos takes way too much damage on this.
Yeah, Ampharos. It's like preserving Magcargo, I guess. The Thunderbolt goes out into Typhlosion, getting it very near to death, but not quite dead. This is from the Porygon. And then finally, we see the Giga Drain from Vileplume, healing Vileplume back over that 50% mark and getting Ampharos down to 14. Yeah, so that is a really
Yeah,
costly pivot into
14
Ampharos.
before it can do anything.
It hasn't had a turn, yeah. And so the taunt ends on Porygon. We see a protect and
And I
what I assume is a
remember
trick
saying like
room.
I wish that that she had killed me with that thunderbolt there because then I could have had Murkrow back in. I
Murkrow
had
could have
switched
been
into
up.
Typhlosion to begin with just to preserve Murkrow. But yeah, the taunt ended before Murkrow could do its job one more time, and
Right.
the trick room does come up.
Yeah, so this trick room will go out. The Typhlosion will die from the chip, from the Life Orb. Sludge Bomb goes into Porygon, chipping it down to 22. But the trick room goes out. Now we have Ampharos on 14 with the trick room up.
But
But
at least now I have Murkrow with Quash.
yeah, Murkrow hits the field, can use that quash to mitigate some of the effect of the trick room on whoever it needs to be mitigated on. The quash does go into Ampharos, allowing Vileplume to Giga Drain it before it gets to do really anything. It came out, did one
Anything at
protect.
all. It used
Yeah.
Protect, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 turns of Trick Room left to go. We do have a Zoomeril hitting the field. So hoping that Pokemon, the Wake's got to be hoping that Pokemon will get something done. We have Magcargo back out in the Trick Room with 3 turns left. Terra Ghost is used to keep. Actually, I don't know why that Terra Ghost is used. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I
It's a good
guess
question.
in case. Well, I can't actually think of.
Because she already knows I don't have Heracross here. Is it to no? That doesn't really.
Yeah, no, I don't think that actually really contributes
It doesn't
anything.
give you anything to go Terra Ghost here.
It
Yeah, she would have
might
been way
have been a
better off doing Terra Steel.
misclick. It might have been a misclick, yeah, because I assume you want to Terra Steel. So I would,
Definitely would want to Terra Steel Azumarill in front of because I just kill Azumarill right here, right now. I think.
yeah, I'm gonna. That has to be a
I
misclick.
actually, yeah. No, I definitely kill Azumarill because I know that she keeps the Magcargo around for the like recover.
Yeah, the Aquajet goes into the recover from Magcargo. Aquajet goes into the Murkrow, finishing it off, and then the Giga Drain
Oh
goes
no, I
into
don't
the
kill Azumarill right
Magcargo.
there because
So
I think I was like predicting the Terra Steel. That's why I went for
yeah,
Giga
you
Drain on
would. That would make
Magcargo.
sense. The Terra
In
Steel
fact,
would
I
make
probably should
sense.
have set like Sunny Day instead of going for the Quash, but I would have lost to Aquajet either way. I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you would have. But the Aquajet, now, we know Azumarill's locked into this Aquajet now. The Giga Drain does heal Vileplume back to
Yeah,
83.
which is why
But now
Celebi. Oh right,
Celebi
she
hits the
didn't know.
field.
She didn't know that I didn't have Heracross in the back because Celebi was still in the back and hadn't come out yet. So maybe the
Yeah,
Terra Ghost was just for a Heracross, like in case I had in the back.
yeah,
But
but
it
you
seems a little
could
premature to
wait.
do that.
Yeah, it's pretty premature to tear Ghost for that
Yeah.
reason. So Celebi comes out, uses a Protect, stalling this Trick Room out. Aquajet goes into the Vileplume, but even the crit will only do 33%. And the Vileplume also going to tank this Heat Wave. That is a. Okay, so the one time the Heat Wave did 50%, that must have been a high roll, because this Heat Wave only does 44. So we've seen everyone from 44 to 50 on that Heat Wave, so lucky that the roll wasn't too high there. Vileplume does manage to live. It was at 50 before that Heat Wave went out. And then the Sludge Bomb will go into the
Yeah.
Azumarill, getting it down to 5% in a single hit. And burning us. So you burn another Trick Room turn. This time, Celebi will be the one to use the Terastallization, going into that Water type. That is going to really prevent Azumarill from doing much damage, and Magcargo as well. Aquajet will finish off that Vileplume finally, but the damage is already done. Magcargo is going to use a Recover, but the Energy Ball will finish the Azumarill. So now we have Celebi versus two tanky Pokemon. So we have Porygon and Magcargo on the field, but that Porygon's only 22, so a quick Energy Ball will finish that off. We see a Yawn come out from Magcargo. Can
Yeah, and
Magcargo
here I
do
just
it?
figured nasty plot because there's no way Magcargo can like take me down before I wake up, you know. So I figure I'll just be
Yeah.
ready,
So
just set
the
up for when I do wake up.
the nasty plot comes out. A power gem doing 25%, so it's 3 power gems to victory. Except for there is that citrus berry to contend with. The power gem second one will go out. The citrus berry pops, and we're back to 73. One more turn of sleep, even a max sleep, and then would not do it. I don't think. So Matt Cargo does go for the recover,
And I don't
but
think the recover is what you want to do there because you're already so high in health, like,
yeah,
and the energy ball just like wipes it.
yeah, the
It's
energy
actually
ball one
great. It's
shots the
great.
Matt Cargo. I am a little
I
surprised
mean,
by that.
you forget just how powerful Celebi is, like with 100 base stats across the board, and then with a nasty plot.
Yeah, 100 base stats really
And I
makes
guess
it
a Pokemon who's
really
really just
strong.
not especially bulky at
Not
all.
especially bulky. Yep, that'll finish off. I don't really think. I mean, the yawn play was the best play. I don't know that there was a play that digs you out of that hole. Ultimately, I feel like that has to be a misclick on that Terra Ghost. I mean, unless I'm missing something, like surely you Terra Steal the Azumarill, because I feel like that
I
could
mean, she
be a
didn't say
difference
anything about it.
maker
We
here.
talked about it a little bit, like
Oh, really?
so she
Okay.
said here yeah, she said that she was worried about the Heracross and which is why she went
Oh,
Ghost.
okay. Interesting.
But
Well,
she was debating Terra Dragon. That's just her describing why she picked Terra
oh,
Ghost.
why
I don't
she
know.
picked
She
Terra
didn't say anything
Ghost.
about why she went
Yeah, I think using
Terra
it on that
Ghost.
individual turn is a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I do get it because if you don't know if it's Celebi or Heracross in the back, but then if you use Terra Steel and
But just,
Heracross comes out, then Heracross just kills you instantly, right? So I guess I could
yeah,
see
that's true.
not wanting to go Terra Steel there
Yeah, but
on the
you
chance that
don't like
Heracross is
pop
coming
your
out
Terra
later.
Ghost.
Yeah, then you're just not Terra either, right? You just hold on to it.
Right. You
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
that's true. That's probably true. All right, well, GG's. Like it is a 2-0, but it felt kind of close. Vileplume absolutely did work.
Yeah.
Complete.
Assault Vest Vileplume was like really like surprisingly bulky against this team.
Yeah, yeah, that was good to identify like that all the Vileplume. I mean, this team is actually pretty like its physical attackers can't hit Vileplume, right? Like Vileplume has
Yeah,
good
exactly.
matchups against the physical attackers. So with the Assault Vest, you end up with just good matchups across the board, which is
Yeah,
quite nice.
exactly. That's yeah.
All right, let's look at the next series. So this is my series versus Chris. And I was cooking something a little weird here. I think this matchup is actually quite a challenge overall. Um, well, actually, before we do, any final thoughts on this match before we move on? I
Oh,
want to
final
give you a
thoughts?
chance. Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was a good match. I was happy to finally get a W.
Oh yeah.
But she played pretty well. I think she like really did some work like out maneuvering me to get the trick room up on Porygon 2. But I just don't think the trick room was like consequential enough for it to matter, especially in game two. Like in game one, she kind of nailed it. Like just taking out my Murkrow so early with Play Rough was like devastating for me in game one, and she would have won if she just hit recover. It was kind of a wacky game, but yeah, game two I think I just like I played a lot better, and my Pokemon just kind of overpowered hers. So yeah, Watson, you there?
Yes. Hello.
Oh, there you go.
Somehow I muted my mic on accident.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying, if there's ever a rematch, which you never know who rematches who, then
Yeah,
it Vileplume will have to be considered. That's the
exactly.
Pokemon to beat. All right, so next series. This is mine versus Chris. Yeah, I talked about. I think this matchup is a little bit dicey for me. Like overall, Hobo, interestingly, is like quite good versus Lugia. Or not quite good. It's kind of. I think it's slightly Ho-Oh favored, but the Ho-Oh versus Lugia matchup is pretty exciting just in general. Um, One
Yeah,
thing I didn't plan for very well was the raw power of Kangaskhan. Yep,
yeah,
and we will see that shortly how that works out. I'll talk a little bit about some of the brings. We are seeing the debut, no, not the debut of Octillery, but the debut of Miltank. In my early versions of this team, Miltank was actually pretty useful. I didn't end up really bringing it here. Um, because of reasons. I mean, ultimately, I kind of knew I wasn't going to bring it. I kind of decided I needed to go for some heavy trick room stuff. But Miltank is one of my only speed control, or like one of my stronger speed control options. So there was early versions of this team where I'm running Miltank Icy Wind. I don't end up really doing it. But yeah, water types can be hard for me to contend with just generally because, Ho-Oh is a fire type and my best Pokemon. So yeah, just having like a strong Pokemon in the Kingdra, this rain mode with the Fortress, that Pokemon is so annoying. I have really come to hate that Pokemon a lot, and yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Fortress is like goes really crazy in this league, and is Chris's best Pokemon, I think, by a long shot.
yeah. I mean, in the rain, it's so annoying. It's like it
Yeah.
feels untouchable, and you get one Iron Defense off, and it's like it starts to feel pretty nasty. But I do have good
But Chris
special attacking
took in
options.
this very niche strategy with the last resort on Kangaskhan. I
Yeah, we will
I don't know where he
see.
got it because
We
I've
will
never seen
see.
it. But it's
So
funky.
let's see what happens. So we see a Fortress, Team Fortress 2, and Roger, aka Kangaskhan, coming out. I lead Slowking and Golem. Forgetting to name my Pokemon, Greenlee would be disappointed.
Mhm.
My plan here is to just use a Trick Room, I believe. But the Fake Out goes into Golem. I didn't use Protect or anything, thinking that I didn't need to. Uh, Flinch will come out on the Golem. Fortress goes for an Iron Defense, which is pretty annoying. And then I go for a Nasty Plot. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was thinking I could be greedy here because in my practice, like, Slowking's actually very good. It can get a lot done with this Nasty Plot set. So I greeted out. The Fake Out goes into Golem. And then I decide to switch into Octillery. I don't really know why. I wanted to do this, to be totally honest. I think the reason was I was worried about body press from Fortress, and I thought that Octillery would be a better matchup into Fortress because of it's a special attacker. So yeah, because I didn't think Golem would be
Hmm.
able to do much. But Team
Did you
Four,
have like flamethrower on auxiliary or no?
yeah. So I
Okay, cool.
yeah, so the Artillery comes out, Helping Hand goes into the Kangaskhan, and Kangaskhan uses a move I did not expect, Last Resort, which instantly kills Slowking, which is supposed to be my
Yeah.
bulky Trick Room setter, and then I have spent a lot of resources to set up, and now I'm in some trouble. So Slowking dies instantly. I was pretty shocked by that. Artillery gets a speed drop and an attack boost. That speed drop would have been really nice if I had gotten the Trick Room up. Now I'm bringing out Ho-Oh. I feel like I have to deal with this. I don't know. I'm a little bit scrambling for what I need to do. We see a Terra Fire from Fortress, which makes sense. Protect it from that Ho-Oh. And
Hmm.
then another Helping Hand, Last Resort. I mean, I
It
don't have
just
any
kills
speed
Ho
on
immediately.
Ho-Oh. Yeah, I don't have any speed on
Yeah,
Ho-Oh.
because you're doing a trick room
Because I'm
thing.
going Trick Room. I'm
If you
focused
could step
entirely
trick
on
room in
Gold.
turn one instead of nasty plot, you'd be in a much better
I would
position.
have been in a great position, but I got greedy with it, thinking that like the Kangaskhan and Fortress, like I could afford the greed, but I could not. So Ho dies instantly. I go for the Scald into Fortress, which does do like get it down to sturdy, but that's about it. It pops the berry, and I just am in such big trouble with this Kangaskhan. I mean, it's just going to continue to roll my whole team. So basically, the Helping Hand Last Resort is going to finish off Octillery here, and now it's Golem versus the entire team, and it's just too much for Golem to do. I mean, the Brick Break does finish off Kangaskhan. I could have done that on turn one also, by the way. Like, if I had
Yeah,
respected, I mean, not really, because obviously the fake out was there. But, like, yeah, if I
yeah.
had gotten the trigger, like, I could have kept Golem in and used it to kill Kangaskhan, but I didn't respect the Kangaskhan. I honestly did not respect the Kangaskhan at all. And now Lugia comes out, and it's just not doable. Like, Golem is not going to win this match because I can't even kill. I believe I'm banded as well. It's like I could only
Oh
brick
yeah.
break
I
here
was about to say, yeah,
because I would have been using Rock Slide if I could.
yeah,
Uh,
100%.
and so I actually forfeit in this game because
I
I
don't know
know
why
he's
you use
over.
Iron Head there on that body press, but yeah, it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris really likes Iron Head. This is the second time we saw that. But yeah, the Kingders pick up game one. So in pretty stunning fashion. I mean, that is a. I did not even come close to really getting anything done at all. So
Yeah,
I had to make an adjustment going into game two. And so let us see what I do. Chris doesn't really have much reason to change the strategy, so bringing out the same two with the Fortress and the Kangaskhan. This time, I'm leading Ho-Oh and Golem. My goal is to threaten both Fortress
yeah.
and
You gotta choose.
Kangaskhan immediately. So that's why I chose this lead. And it works, I believe. So the fake out will go into the Golem. Oh, I know. I wanted to double Kangaskhan because I knew the fake out could go into Golem and stop Golem. You know, but the thing is, actually, I probably would have been fine with just a Trick Room option from Slowking, as we talked about. But whatever. I go for the Sacred Fire into this Kangaskhan. I'm really hoping to get the burn. I did not get the burn, so that is a little upsetting. But now I know that I don't think this Kangaskhan can one-shot Golem. I'm like kind of banking on that at this moment. Iron Defense does go up, and the Helping Hand into the Kangaskhan, but I know I need to protect Ho-Oh and let Golem finish this out. So
Yeah,
I have Golem go for the Supercell Slam. I was also considering a possible switch, which is why I used that move. I just wanted to make sure I
yeah.
got the most damage, and I didn't want to
It's
lock
also
into a
best
move.
to lock into something that's generally better
Yeah,
for you.
instead of a brick break. So I go for
Stab and
that.
everything.
And now my major Kangaskhan threat is eliminated, but I still have a lot of other really meaningful threats in the form of this Lugia. So yeah, Lugia comes out, has the Rain Dance, which will weaken my Sacred Fire to do I mean, oh my god, very, very little. I mean, that's because of multi-scale,
Oh,
but
it's multi-scale. Yeah.
7% is so pathetic. So, yeah, so I do get the burn, which is actually really nice. And then I go for the Supercell Slam, which I think
Yeah.
this crit matters. I'm not going to lie. But I was able to break the multi-scale with Ho-Oh, and then Supercell Slam kill Lugia instantly. So basically, Lugia just gets that Rain Dance out, which, I mean, it does matter. But that I feel really good about that exchange, getting that Supercell Slam to finish off Lugia. I really don't think that's a kill without that crit. So I think that's actually a pretty impactful crit, just based on like my practice. And I mean, obviously, I mean, I haven't done the calc, but I was not like one shotting Lugia like that in my practice. So I think that crit makes a huge difference there. So Lugia goes
Sure.
down. The body press will finish the golem. I did take a little bit of chip from fake out, so no opportunity for Sturdy to kick in there. Now Kingdra comes out and it's in the rain, so this is kind of a this is a rough scenario. I mean, it's definitely dangerous. This Kingdra can kill Ho-Oh instantly, and I'm under a lot of threat from still this fortress that is it can be really hard. Now I know in my head like I'm rocking uh Slowking in the back, so I'm like, Slowking can handle this fortress later. Let me, if I just get rid of Kingdra, I think I'm chilling. But I have fake out pressure, luckily, with Smeargle here. So with the helping hand goes into the Kingdra. Oh, did I not even fake out? I guess I didn't. Wow, I'm crazy
Oh,
for
the
that.
surf.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not a good surf. That puts your fortress at a really big disadvantage.
yeah, that does. That's kind of spooky there.
I
I
mean,
mean,
you're
you have
giving up
Muddy
so
Water.
much
Muddy Water
for,
is
for
like
like, yeah, you just be using muddy
I
water.
think Muddy Water is the far superior choice. But yeah, I go for the Terra Flying to keep Ho-Oh alive. Smeargle goes down to Sash, and then I pop the Citrus Berry. So Ho ends up only really losing 30%. And then with that Terra Flying, I can go for the dual Wing Beat. I not only survive, but get the extra damage from that dual Wing Beat. And I get the sleep from Smeargle into the Kingdra. And so now it's going to be pretty hard for Chris to make a comeback. The We'll turn one of sleep, and the spore goes into the fortress as well, just for good measure. And yeah, I'm able to clean up this game pretty handily from there. With just the spore supports a bit too much. I get the speed boost even on the Smeargle from Moody, and this way I'm able to throw a Decorate in to help Ho-Oh finish off this kill with the dual wing beat. And yeah,
It
really
depends if you
nice.
needed that. I mean, need it, but
Oh, the Decorate. I mean, there's just nothing else to do. So
yeah.
but yeah,
But Fortress, thank you.
that's the other reason why I don't have speed on Ho, because Ho Smeargle together. This way, Smeargle can like consistently get the Decorate off first, which I find to be pretty impactful.
True.
Over like decorating after the Ho has already moved. So yeah, we'll go into game three and see what adjustments have happened. So this is a situation where, like, from my end, I'm thinking, do I lead this lead that's good versus the Kangaskhan Fortress again? Or do I go back to my original lead that I know is better, like, generically uh, against the team? And so I feel like,
Probably the last.
yeah, I do end up doing that. I go back to my original lead. Um, but I was pretty scared about this, and I do kind of feel as though if I had just gone my anti Kangaskhan lead again, this might have been a much harder game. So, and
Yeah.
this is game three, so it's pretty important here. But yeah, I do end up going for my lead, and luckily the lead that Chris chooses, or I should say the lead that the Kingdras choose, is basically exactly what I was hoping for. This is kind of best case scenario because uh, Golem threatens these two Pokemon so easily with Rock Slide and a Trick Room option as well. So we see Rain Dance
Even
Reflect
with
coming
Reflect,
out, and the Rock
just
Slide
doesn't
does,
matter.
yeah, it does massive damage into the Zaytu, nearly killing it, and breaks that multi-scale, doing 15% to Lugia, which isn't a lot, but the Reflect is cutting that a lot. But the Trick Room will come out now, and now It's pretty easy. I do end up actually just switching into artillery. I wanted to have the option of breaking this reflect later on down the road with uh, brick break from Golem. And so I figured I could switch here, and it's pretty safe because these Pokemon don't threaten me a lot, and Slowking can actually put in a ton of work. Ally Switch comes out. I go for the Nasty Plot, and so now I have 3 terms of Trick Room, basically with Slowking in the rain. And this rain, I was playing around it like with the Nasty Plot in the rain. Slowking Scald can do like numbers. It's like insane. So this is also sort of to mitigate the reflect. This is why I'm bringing out artillery as well, because with the Scald on both Pokemon, I'm able to just do tons of damage. So we'll see. I do the Scald into the Lugia. I mean, that's massive damage
It's just wild.
to do
Massive
on
damage
Lugia.
against yeah.
Yeah. With a special defense. That's a
Lights.
+1 special defense Lugia, by the way. that I have.
Oh man.
I do
Yeah.
57% with the. I go Terra Water just to maximize the damage from that Slowking.
Yeah.
And then I do the
Fair water will
Scald
do it.
into the
And he
Zaytube,
doesn't
finishing
get
it
light
off.
screen off either. So
Yeah, due to the going for that ally switch instead earlier, and then the trick room being able
hmm
to do a
and their
lot. So
flex for
yeah,
the goal.
the Hurricane goes into Slowking, doing about 30%, nothing crazy, and we do get the burn onto the Lugia. This is unfortunate. Octillery does get that special attack drop, so that's gonna hurt a little bit. But yeah, now we have Kingdra on the field. Uh, Psychic into the Kingdra from Slowking with all these boosts instantly kills it. So
Wow.
sad time for Kingdra, and it's pretty simple for Octillery to go for this Ice Beam into the Lugia. But this Lugia is mad tanky, and this is again because of the special attack drop. Getting that Moody special attack drop is
Right.
the worst thing that can happen to Octillery. Plus 3 speed boost in the Trick Room means it's actually going. It's actually reached a point where
Fast.
it's faster than Lugia. So this is like worst case possible for Octillery. Barely does any damage to the Lugia. Like it's one special defense boost on Lugia and one special attack drop on Octillery. Allows it to live with 1% after the burn. So it could have gone a lot better, but yeah, we get a special defense boost at least, and our speed is going a little bit back down. And now we just have Fortress out on the field. But still 1 turn of Trick Room to work with. The Scald will finish off that Lugia. Wanted to make sure that went down before any Recover could come out, and I knew that Octillery was faster than Lugia at this point, so I was like, I can't take any chances that Recover goes out, so I do finish that off. And then the Scald goes into the Octillery, forcing it to
That's
use its
impressive
berry.
amount of damage on the Scald.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
-1 special attack, too.
special attack drop.
Yeah. I mean, the
Rain does
rain.
help it.
Yeah, I was really like hoping to turn the Kingdra's Rain against them with this double water type uh, combo here between the Octillery and the Slowking, and I do think I used that to pretty good effect. So yeah, Moody gives me another special attack drop. This is like so bad. Worst luck possible on the Moody. But now Golem's coming out, and I have that Brick Break that I talked about before. Uh, Golem is faster than Fortress, so I'm able to Brick Break, getting rid of the Reflect, and just finish off the game 3 and win that game. So yeah, best case scenario for me in game 3.
Yeah, well played on that one.
Yeah.
I still think the just the Zaytu, it like Chris has this idea that like Zaytu will support Lugia with screens and then Lugia becomes like monstrously tanky and impossible to remove. But Zaytu just like being only there to do that and nothing else just weakens the team as a whole, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you could have even like a Kangaskhan Lugia lead, right? Kangaskhan doesn't really need
Yeah.
Helping Hand to do massive damage with Last Resort.
No, and Lugia in another way doesn't need screens to be massively bulky.
Yeah, also true. When I practiced it, I practiced a lot against a Lugia Kingdra lead, with the idea being that Lugia Kingdra can double up the Slowking and kill it in turn 1, which is true a lot of
Hmm.
times. So that's a thing. I mean, obviously it's not ideal But that way Kingdra can throw out a Draco Meteor on turn 1 and then just kind of swap out to play for a later game. Like it is a thing. I think there are other ways to play the team, without Zaytu. The
Yeah, I
screens are
mean, I
annoying
don't even
though.
necessarily think like Zaytu is worthless, but maybe like just always leading Lugia with Zaytu. I just don't think it really works that well because you're just not providing enough like pressure to anything.
Yeah, there's not a lot of immediate pressure. I mean, to be fair, a lot of these Pokemon don't do quite immediate pressure. They need a turns of setup. Like Lugia wants to set up,
Yeah,
Fortress
that's
wants to
true.
set up, like Kingdra needs Rain, which is effectively a kind of setup, and then Kangaskhan wants to use Fake Out before it can really start to hit hard with Last Resort. So
Yeah, they do all need kind of
it's just a
setup.
slower type of team. Like the only way
Yeah,
is you could lead Kingdra plus Jumpluff and go for a Rain Dance on Jumpluff, or you could lead Kingdra
true. We haven't
Lugia
really
even.
seen Gemfluff yet.
You could lead Kingdra Lugia because Lugia is fast enough that you'll get that Rain Dance out before anything else can act most of the time, except for against specific matchups. And then once that rain is up, then Kingdra goes immediately and takes something like starts taking stuff out. So I do think there are other ways. There are ways to play a little more aggressively. Um, but yeah, well played,
Yeah, to
GG's.
see like Gemfluff Kingdra sometime.
Yeah, it could be interesting for sure. And then Job Bluff offers like what
Redirects,
sleep powder and some redirect. Yeah,
Tailwind.
yeah. So, like, some
You don't even
things.
need Tailwind for the Rain Dance with the Kingdra, but then Tailwind helps out in addition to that.
I mean, yeah,
If you stay
I
alive
mean,
long enough.
Tailwind could be a substitute for Rain Dance. Rain Dance is
True.
generally better though. All right, here we have the game versus Scrambled Egg versus the Singing in the Rain team. Do you want to talk about the brings a little bit, or I could talk about it because
Sure.
I did help greatly make the team. So
I guess I can talk about fucking Brian's brings and what I think of that. And then you can talk about Greenlee's brings. So Brian has Misdreavus for I think for Trick Room is the idea. Um, fucking Hidden Power is supposed to be for like type coverage. He was saying that like that Hidden Power. I think it was Hidden Power Water is like more powerful than Shadow Ball. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But then Steel
if you're hitting super effective,
Nidoking. Yeah, if you're hitting for super effective, I think it's for Steelix.
yeah.
Um, yeah, just because Misdreavus is like can't get hit by Steelix, so it's like the Steelix answer. But we see Raikou and ends up being the real Steelix answer. Raikou has Terra Fighting to deal with Steelix and Ursaring, and Scizzor's Terra Steel with the Bullet Punch finally doing the thing that I suggested from the beginning,
I think he
working
did
to
it
great
last
effect,
week
I
too. I
think.
think
What's that?
did it in week 2 as well. I believe.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then the Terra Water on Politoed. Yeah, just get extra damage on those weather balls, which is great move. He has that on Politoed and on Raikou. Um, Terra Psychic Wobbuffet. I think that's just default. Wobbuffet's just there to be Wobbuffet. And then Terra Steel on Nidoking. I think I mentioned I didn't really get into it. I don't really know what Terra Steel's there. I guess that's a defensive thing.
Yeah, that's an
I don't know. You're
interesting one.
still weak to ground.
Mm-hmm.
What are you defending with Terra
Probably
Steel?
the psychic type attacks from Executor. That's what my
Right.
thought
Yes, that would be
process
it.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Executor is like I guess your most scary matchup here.
Uh huh.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
them's
yeah,
Brian's rings.
yeah. For Greenlee, I mean, the thought process here was essentially. Let me see if I can think about it for a second. Yeah, the goal. It's tricky because we have a situation where Entei's very good into Scizor, but not that good into other things. Like it struggles versus Nidoking, it struggles versus Politoed, and it's not. It's kind of whatever versus Raikou, but Raikou is faster, so it ends up being not great. And then also has access to Scald in the rain, so yeah, it's end up it's kind of rough. So you want to position Entei around Scizor is like the ideal way to go. Then the other option is Ursaring. We kind of identified Ursaring with like some ground type moves can do pretty okay into everything. I mean, like the ground type is good against Nidoking. It's good against Raikou. It's good against Scizor. If Scizor ever terrestrializes into Steel, which is usually the type that Scizor wants. Um, so we're kind of thinking Ursaring is good here, which we want to support it with Trick Room from Executor. The problem with Crobat, I think, overall that we found is that it's a little bit like unlike into the James team or the Umbreon's Reunion Bash, it doesn't have amazing matchups. Like it doesn't do much offensively, so we opted to try to get Executor into position because Executor actually has good matchups into everything except Scizor. Like it can hit Nidoking for
Yeah.
super effective. It resists the electric type attacks from Raikou, and it can hit super effective into Politoed as well. So yeah, we were leaning into that, and then and Steelix and Shuckle are kind of just here. We knew we wanted a Trick Room mode, so those are good Trick Room Pokemon. I mean, Steelix is good theoretically versus Scizor as well, so yeah, it's kind of like we have Entei and Steelix to deal with the Scizor, and then we have Ursaring and Executor to deal with everything else. So that's kind of the idea. I don't think the Terras are anything special. Mostly offensive Terras, with the one exception of Terra Ghost to resist those bug type moves from Scizor, while also not granting any new weaknesses that would be a problem. Like, Terra Flying would give you a weakness to electric, Terra Fire would give you weakness to water moves. Like, there were a lot of choices
Yeah,
that,
Terraghost is kind of perfect in this matchup, especially since there's no like dark types here, so
yeah,
you're not too worried about still being weak to that. And then you resist bug and poison, which would be like your main uh, answers
exactly.
here. So
Exactly, yeah. So Ghost was the ended up being the choice. So yeah, that's the idea. Let's see how it plays out. So we see the Scizor and the Politoed lead, which is kind of worst case scenario. Since we're going this Executor Ursaring, or since Scrambled Egg is going this Executor Ursaring. Um, I say worst case. I mean that's worst case for Egg. Best case for Brian.
yeah,
Hanging in the rain. So yeah, the this is not good because this means you're kind of forced to Terra really early, and Ursaring doesn't honestly do much to Scizor.
yeah,
Um, so I like in retrospect, it might have been nice to see a switch here. We see Protect, um, which does kind of bait a turn of attacks into the Executor, so that's actually pretty nice. Earthquake though,
if you
maybe not
could,
as
yeah,
useful as like a
capitalize on it.
switch. Yeah, so it doesn't really super capitalize on that nice protect bait with the Executor.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get like a bit of chip,
you get
and
a
that's
little
kind of it.
chip, and that's about it. But the burn does go out under Ursaring. That's nice as well. That is, you gotta consider that as another advantage. Like even if you swap now, like you're feeling good. So this turn we do see the Terra Steel and the Ghost from Executor. The Bug Bite will Executor does live, and then I think we see Facade. Yeah, Facade comes out from the Ursa Ring, which does get Scizor down to just 6% health. So it's not looking too bad because this Trick Room will go up. I mean, so far I feel like it looks pretty nice. A little bit of burn chip onto Ursa Ring, but now we see a swap, which does protect the
He
Scizor
was
for
definitely
later. But the
he was
crunch,
definitely expecting a facade there, and the crunch is unfortunate for him.
yes, the crunch was a good choice. Does huge damage to Misdreavus. I do like that option. I kind of think a Protect Earthquake would have been even better. Although,
Yeah,
uh, just because then you hit Politoed, but
that's what I was yelling at my screen.
yeah, Protect Earthquake. But I mean, the Crunch does a lot of damage to Misdreavus. It's just that I don't know how much
But the earthquake would have
Misdreavus
been
matters.
immune
But
as
yeah,
well.
The Giga Drain heals up Executor, does big damage to Politoed, and then the Weather Ball comes out from Politoed. I mean, ultimately, the Earthquake would have killed Politoed, and then you still have Ursaring at pretty high health, which would have been pretty
Yeah.
nice, but, whatever. We do
It's
see
like, who
Ursaring
cares
getting
about killing
quite
Mistweavers?
low now. The Giga Drain will finish off the Politoed, and now Ursaring should be able to crunch and finish that kill. So far, Ursaring Executor doing a lot of work. We have, but Ursaring does die, unfortunately, due to the trick or the burn. And now we have 2 turns of Trick Room, and out come Raikou plus the Scizor. So these Pokemon need to be dealt with within these 2 turns of Trick Room, essentially, or something. So Bullet Punch comes out. Scizor really nice in Trick Room, able to Bullet Punch and finish that Executor. The Life Orb will cause it to die as a result. And Steelix
The
goes
part
for an
where I
Iron
wish feel
Defense.
like that earthquake.
Yeah, Earthquake on Steelix could have been pretty good. But yeah, the Steelix goes for Iron Defense, which is pretty greedy in the face of this Raikou that can do so much damage to you. But yeah, Raikou goes for the Aura Sphere, does 76%. Pretty big hit.
You don't even need the Aura Sphere if you'd use Weather Ball. I think maybe Steelix just goes to Sturdy.
Yeah, almost
But
definitely.
either way, it's 2-shot.
Yeah. So this turn, now Raikou can't has 1 turn of Trick Room, has to get 2 kills. What will happen? Let's see. So the body press goes into Raikou, doing 97%, which is insanely massive. But the Weather
Thing
Ball
is, where's
goes
the
into.
extreme speed?
I think the reason there's no extreme speed here is because there is only you are in Trick Room, and you wouldn't necessarily expect Raikou to be slower than Entei. I mean, generally that would never be the case, right? However,
Yeah,
I also feel like
probably the safest bet though.
what move are you clicking instead of Extreme Speed? Because the rain will hurt your Sacred Fire and make that not do very well, and your other moves are like Crunch, which is like
Yeah,
the
worse.
equal power to Extreme Speed. So there's genuinely no real reason not to Extreme Speed, and it does lose the egg the game because now the Trick Room
Yeah, because
will
it was like
go down.
going really well. That would have won the game. Yeah.
I mean, it ends up what happens is Raikou is just way too good into these back 2, and it's not prioritized enough, I don't think. And
Thing
that's
is,
going to be a pattern. As we
yeah.
move
I
on
mean,
into the next game.
without a ground type move, like Iron Defense Body Press makes a little more sense. I mean, but maybe you just want to use Body Press instead. I don't know. Because
I
you even
mean,
with the Iron Defense Body Press, it doesn't one-shot Raikou. I think just using the extreme speed there is like the only way you win in that position.
yeah, using Extreme Speed was completely needed to win that game. Definitely. I mean, I think the other thing you could have done is maybe you could have brought out Entei sooner than Steelix, but there's not. I mean, that doesn't really make sense. Like, I don't know. But yeah, unfortunate because I mean, the start to the game went great. It was just like
Yeah.
the back 2 were not. The thing is, the order of matchups was poor because you want Steelix and you want Entei into Scizor, but like you didn't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the opposite of the matchups that you want. So I think also another thing is like you might not want to be going the same lead. Um, adjusting the lead
This
is
is
an
the part where
option.
I would have brought out like anti-Crobat,
Yes, anti
maybe.
Crobat could have been good. I mean, even just anti Executor would have been fine,
Yeah.
honestly. Or like Steelix Executor. Steelix Executor would have been good because like what if
Thing
it
is, Entei Executor is a little bit scary because the Entei in the rain feels kind of bad.
it does for sure. But
You're still
you can
super
Giga
effective
Drain the
against Scissor, but
Polytoad and Sacred Fire the
Terrestrializes.
Scizor, and it's kind of
True.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not great. But yeah, we see
Better. It's
Ursaring,
like
same
neutral when you
leads
Terrestrialize.
on both sides. I mean, it's kind of reasonable from Greenlee, right? Because like the game does start pretty well. But yeah, same leads on both sides. This time we see the Terra Ghost instantly. Makes sense. We're going for Protect on Ursaring. The Weather Ball goes into the Executor as well as the knockoff this time into Ursaring. So I do like this actually because this knockoff would have removed that facade. That was
Oh
actually a
yeah.
pretty interesting choice there. So the
Uh,
Protect play
remove the
makes a
flame
big
orb.
difference. Yeah, the Flame Orb. So it would sorry, not the facade, but the Flame Orb, which makes Guts bad, which makes Facade bad. So yeah. I was like two
Yeah.
steps ahead in my logic. But yeah, removes facade is a strong option. But yeah, so then we do see just a little bit of damage onto the Executor with that Weather Ball. Funnily enough, this Terra Ghost makes you take more damage, but there's no way to know that. I mean, you can't not Terra
The
Ghost in
fact
front of
that
Scizor.
yeah, the fact that Scissors has knockoff though, but like kind of retroactively makes Ghost like not as good for Executor, but it doesn't end up mattering, I don't think.
No, it does not. So yeah, the Trick Room comes up. But the thing is, like, even under Trick Room, these two Pokemon against Politoed Scizor, it doesn't help. Because Scizor doesn't care about Trick Room really, because it has Bullet Punch.
The bullet punch, yeah.
Yeah, and then but
I don't
it's
think it
not
uses
using
bullet
it.
punch though.
It
Doesn't it
does
just use
not.
close combat here?
Yeah, just use close
Because it
combat.
just can't get it doesn't die fast enough for
Yeah,
Trick Room to matter.
Ursaring will not kill it. I mean, this would have been also a decent time to Earthquake, but it's also whatever. I don't know. The Crunch goes into Scizor. I mean, it does do 45, which is like, it's okay. I think this
Yeah.
is also a situation where you could have switched into Steelix like on turn one, or just led Steelix. Like I don't know. You don't want Ursaring into this Scizor, you know. But yeah, close combat goes into
I
Scizor
guess
or
Bug
Ursaring.
Steel is like one of the
Ursaring
best type
dies
combo.
instantly, and Scizor takes a little bit of life orb. Chip, the Surf comes out, kills your own Scizor.
Yeah.
Surf is not, guys. Don't use Surf. That's my PSA for the week.
Yeah. I was talking to Brian about that the other night, and he was like, "Yeah, that was a bad idea, but it did allow me to pivot into Raikou in front of Celix." And I was like, I didn't
Yeah,
really think
that's
about that,
true.
but it's true.
It's true. But Scizor could have like, I mean, yeah, maybe it is better because this Steelix would have gone for an Iron
Like
Defense,
an
but
iron defense, and the iron defense in front of Scissor is way safer.
it's so much safer. Yeah. So yeah, maybe it was good. The Surf comes out. Does that kill him? We see Raikou and Steelix coming out to replace the Ursaring and Scizor respectively. Raikou goes for an instant Terra Fighting, which would remove its weakness to those ground type moves. Steelix isn't actually going to be using, but still a very reasonable Terra. Gidgerang goes into that Politoed slot, but it uses Protect to keep it alive for one more turn. And this is a situation where I think what happens for Egg is Scrambled Egg is they don't recognize that Raikou bodies their whole team and needs to die within these three Trick Room turns.
Yeah.
And that just isn't identified strongly enough. The body press or the Iron Defense comes out to set up the Steelix. I mean, it can survive this Aura Sphere thanks to Sturdy, and because 2 more turns of Trick Room, it can still threaten big damage on this next turn. But we do see a swap into Misdreavus. This is actually a really dangerous swap because I think if Scrambled Egg does the, in my opinion, correct thing and doubles this Raikou right here, like you actually had an opportunity with Politoed to like protect Raikou and kill Steelix and like kind of win you the game. But
True.
yeah, but anyway, Misdreavus comes out, Steelix goes for the body press into that slot, which again, it's like
Yeah.
that is
Why
just
wouldn't
not
you
the
just why wouldn't you just
target
target
that
right
you
there?
want. Like killing Politoed is not useful to you. But yeah, I mean it is kinda, I guess. But Entei can deal with Politoed, and
Yeah, the weather balls in the rain is a little threatening for Egg, I guess, since you're Terra Ghost now. But yeah, you're psychic on an Executor against Raikou. That's just not going to do it. You have to double it, and Raikou's going to threaten you a lot more.
yeah. So that body press ends up doing nothing to Misdreavus. We see the Psychic go out into Raikou, but that does not finish off the Raikou, and then the Thunder actually finishes off the Executor. Now we have 1 more turn of Trick Room only, and we have a
So he
lot
just
we
has to
need to get
protect
done.
now.
So now we see Entei. I mean, this is where I think again you kind of have to extreme speed. Like it's kind of non-negotiable. Do you have to extreme speed the Raikou because it will just kill you in 1 hit? We've established that from game 1. So the Protect comes out, and the Body Press goes into that slot. We do see the Crunch, I believe. The Hidden Power from Misdreavus finishes off that Steelix, so no more Steelix. The Crunch does go into the Misdreavus. I mean, like, this is where, like, again, this was. I mean, I guess I do understand this because, frankly, like, if Raikou doesn't protect, then Steelix will kill it. So there's no real reason to necessarily extreme speed right now. But
Yeah,
definitely on this next turn, now it's like, actually, you don't really have to extreme speed because you know that you're faster than Raikou from, like, previous games.
that's true. But
But
I
you just go
mean,
for
you
crunch
still
into Mischievous feels like giving up.
you still want to extreme speed. You still want extreme speed because it's the most powerful move you have in the rain,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
and
Well, it's
you want extreme speed Raikou for sure.
you can't crunch a fighting type, so that yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so at extreme speed into Raikou, I mean, the thing is if that extreme speed kills,
Which it probably won't, but you don't know.
you don't really know, but then you have a chance. But unfortunately, with that move, no chance.
Like if you crit, maybe it kills.
So really well played by Brian. I think like this was a good strategy, uh, executed pretty well overall. Um, Even the surf suicide was big brain.
Hmm. Yeah, like he said he didn't do that intentionally, but that it
It
worked
worked
out
out really
that
good,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and now the final series. I'm very excited for this one. This one's pretty hype. This is Umbreon's Reunion Bash versus Coronet Commanders. I'm gonna try to. I always forget these team names and keep using player names, especially the longer the video goes on. But I'm gonna try to get back into it. Um, So yeah, let's just send it. We're already over an hour, and this is the longest one we have. So I don't want to
Yeah, this
get
is a long series right here.
yeah I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on the brings and stuff. But I'll just read them out quickly for anyone just listening. We have for the Umbreons, we have Moltres, Terra Fairy. We have Terra Rock Hitmontop, probably for some Rock Slide action. We have Terra Steel on Umbreon. Not 100% on what is going on there. I assume it's
Makes sense to me. It's
anti-fairy.
a resist fairy, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
also Tyranitar.
And then we have Terra Ice from Feraligatr for some Ice Punch, I believe. We see Terra Fairy from Espeon. Similar reasons probably for Umbreon. Just helps deal with the dark types. And then we have Terra Water on Lantern. I assume because you're just never going to Terra that Pokemon and Water's the default. On the other side, we see Terra Flying from Tyranitar. Very typical Tyranitar Terra.
Yeah,
Great for the
which is
fighting types.
atypical for tournament commanders,
That's true.
because I think thus far Tyranitar has been like electric. I think most games.
Electric both
So
games, yeah.
yeah,
But
it's fun.
this game when you specifically are trying to resist that Hitmontop, I think it does make some sense. We
Yeah,
do see Terra Electric from Togetic, Terra Dragon from Skarmory, which I do enjoy. Terra Grass from the Weezing. I'm not 100% on that one, to be honest. Terra Water for Meganium. That one makes sense. And Terra Fighting on Suicune. I think this is for some Aura Sphere into some
into
of the fire
Umbreon.
types. Yeah, and basically just Umbreon, yeah. I mean, I feel like Suicune hitting
Maybe
Aura
it's for
Sphere into
resist
Umbreon is gonna be
Fiery
so
Wrath.
weak. It could be to resist a Fire Wrath. I could see
I
that.
feel like I'd rather Cherry Fairy for that, but yeah, it works. Or Sphere combos with that nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Terra Electric Togetic is to protect you from Lantern.
Yeah, I could see that for
I
sure.
guess that's your biggest threat there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, your only weakness is ground, which you're usually immune to, is Terra Electric. So it feels like a pretty good Terra or across the just in general, having that kind of dynamic. But yeah, let us begin with the match. So we see the leads from the Reunion Bash. We have a Feraligatr named Donner and a Lantern just called Lantern. I do find it funny that this game Lantern didn't get a name. All the other
Yeah,
Pokemon have
they're all the reindeer, the
their
Christmas reindeer,
reindeer for
but
Christmas, and Lantern
Lantern is
was it just
also here.
Lantern? It's the Lantern is on the front of the sleigh, guiding the provide
Right,
some light.
yes. Yeah, and one foggy Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Santa came to say, "Lantern with your little
Light.
antenna so bright. Will you hide my sleigh tonight?"
Exactly. Okay, cool. So that is the lead there. And then on the other side, we do have the Wheezing plus Suicune. Very defensive lead. Kind of on both sides, but especially from the commanders here. Like, Suicune and
Yeah,
Wheezing is like, you just don't get to play against the super bulky defensive Pokemon. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'm not really sure. Not an obvious play to me. We do see Liquidation into Wheezing,
takes
so
away
just
sheer
generic.
force.
Sorry?
Takes away sheer force, so that's nice.
It does. However, we will see at some point this for alligators not sheer force.
Oh,
So little spoilers for later, but yeah, liquidation goes out into that wheezing, does some decent chip, and this wheezing is actually red card, which is hilarious. So it
yeah.
forces for alligator out immediately.
I
Uh,
noticed that. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
yeah, and so then Moltres comes out. Now Lantern with Balloon, by the way, very interesting option there. I mean, I guess ground
If
types.
you're worried about, like, yeah, high horsepower Tyranitar, maybe?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, must be. I don't know what else. So yeah, we see the tailwind coming out from the Suicune. I gotta be honest, I'm not that scared of Suicune wheezing under tailwind conditions. It's not exactly a giga threats, but yeah, we see the Will-O-Wisp go into that Moltres slot, but because of
I
that
see.
red
I don't think
card,
Will-O-Wisp is a great idea there. I don't think that
I mean, if you
adds
burn for
much.
Alligator, it does cut its damage by a significant amount, but because of
Oh,
that
right,
red
because the burn
card,
was going into for Alligator. Yes, yes. And the
yes,
red
yeah, yeah,
card is
yeah. So the
what
red
pushed
card
it out.
kind of
It's still
screws you
turn one.
up in this
Yeah.
case. And then we do finally see Electro Web from that lantern, getting a little bit of chip. Surprisingly good amount, actually. I'm not. I'm a little impressed that you're doing quite so much. 17 and 24. I mean, 24 is super effective, so like that does make sense. But yeah, not
Hmm.
bad, not
Yeah.
bad. The burn does chip the Moltres a little bit, but that shouldn't matter. We do see a Terra Fairy coming out from that Moltres, and then just go straight for the Nasty Plot. Very greedy
Right for the nest
play
because
here.
you can do that though. You can
Yeah,
you
these
can do
two are
that in front of
so.
Suicune Wison.
Yeah, it's true. They're pretty frail overall, especially when you have that Terra Fairy to protect you from any kind of strange steam or dazzling gleams, things like that they would normally
And you
worry
also
about.
kind of have to in front of such a defensive set here,
Yeah,
because Suicune's pretty specially bulky already, and you going for the Calm Mind,
yeah.
and Weezing resists your Fiery Wrath and everything. So
Yeah, in this case, greed is good. Greed is definitely good.
go
Then
right
you're
for it.
not, yeah, you're not in too much danger there. So yeah, calm mind on the other side from the commanders also a little bit of the greed play, and the strange steam, exactly what we expected, does go into that Moltres slot. And meanwhile, Lantern just chipping them down 17 or 15% to both again with the Electro Web, and now your Tailwind's completely mitigated. Not that I think it matters a ton, but yeah, I mean, that Tailwind's just effectively gone with
I
two
mean, the
Electrowebs back to
Commanders
back.
needed a switch, I think, a while ago. I mean,
Yeah.
probably the Weezing just like not supplying enough value.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, probably not. But yeah, here we see the Fire Wrath come out with that special attack boost. It still does, like, honestly, not that much. But yeah,
Yeah,
31% and
I mean,
24%
that's
a piece.
like a double Calm Mind. No, not a double Calm Mind, but still.
It's one Calm Mind
Calm
plus
Mind's
you are
Suicune.
boosted special attack, but I don't know. The Scald
Yeah.
will go out, does pretty big damage into the Moltres, but it does trigger Berserk and a Citrus Berry, so it should be able to survive one more Scald. The
It
uh,
triggers Berserk?
It does, it does. It got him under
So
50%.
wait, is Weezing not neutralizing gas here?
You are right about that. It must not be. Then what are you?
What the
Levitate?
heck?
Because you're not
Are
Misty
you are
Surge.
you're not missing? Yeah, you must be Levitate Weezing. What the
Interesting.
hey?
Yeah, because I don't know what ground type you actually want to.
I mean, that's why you lead Weezing here is for the abilities. So I guess maybe
Perhaps a
maybe I just forgot.
mistake. Yeah, not totally sure what the Commanders are thinking with that one. Um, but yeah, the Electro Web does miss that Wheezing. Unfortunate. Although maybe fortunate because it's not like this Wheezing is doing much. So this does kind of buy you an extra turn. Um, but yeah, Strange Steam does chip this Moltres down a little bit. Moltres quite low at 14%, but at 2.5 times special attack, it's threatening a pretty hefty Fiery
Oh,
Wrath in
is
return.
now you get to switch into Tyranitar, which is maybe too little, too late.
Yeah, so the Tyranitar comes out, does set the sand. Suicune, this is a double switch.
Double
Wow.
switch.
Huh.
You don't want to double switch most of the time, I think.
It's usually pretty dicey. Yeah, because that's
Especially
Fiery
when
Wrath.
you've spent so much time setting up Suicune here with the Calm Minds.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just
And
the
you still have
one,
Tailwind,
but
so I mean, you probably just go for like killing the Moltres before it can get the Fiery Wrath off.
yeah. I mean, did we establish that the Fiery
I guess
Wrath
the
is
Electro
still
Web that
faster?
made
Yeah,
you
the Fiery
slower.
Wrath is
Yeah.
still going to come out no matter what. But
Okay,
I
maybe
do
it makes
think you
sense.
could have sacrificed Suicune, or you could have sacrificed Weezing instead of getting your Meganium mostly killed. Like Meganium goes down to 41 here. You could
Yeah.
just take some chip onto
Yeah,
the
the Weezing was
Tyranitar as
already on death's
well.
door, so
Yeah, Weezing was already
probably leave
basically
him better.
dead. The Volt Switch does hit the Meganium as well, which gives it does give the Bash a free
Yeah,
opportunity to pivot into whatever they want, which is very nice because you get immediately Hitmontop
yeah.
to put pressure onto that
It's a nice volt switch.
Tyranitar. And yeah, the Sandstorm plus the Burn barely doesn't kill the Moltres. So this means Moltres will be able to get yet another Fiery Wrath at this 2.5 times special attack. And I mean that kind of chip really
But
just adds up.
finally you have the speed advantage, but the fake out is here now, so all you can really do is like whatever Dazzling Gleam with Meganium, whatever it is.
Do you get the speed advantage? Is Moltres really slower than? No,
Oh,
Moltres
I
should
don't
be
know.
faster
Probably
than
not.
both of these. Yeah, I mean, like if Moltres is speed
Oh yeah.
invested, which I would assume it is. I mean, this that you can't stop this. So the Terra Flying
Oh yeah, the
kind of
tailwind is
has
over.
to
That's
come
what,
out.
yeah.
You can't not Terra Flying, but this is going to remove your resistance to that huge Fire Wrath, which is coming next. So the Fake Out does
Yeah.
go, and then the Fire Wrath does 48%. Now you lost Meganium, didn't get to do much of anything with it.
Honestly, I would have been safe just not using Terra at all right there because hitting on top turn one basically is always going to fake out.
It's possible, but also you could get close combated and die immediately.
Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah, that's
maybe just protect could have been good if you're Assault Vest as Tyranitar commonly is, that's not really an option.
yeah.
But yeah, protect maybe in this
And
maybe this
Assault Vest
is
makes sense in front of this team with the fiery
yeah.
wraths and everything.
Yeah.
But does it though? If I mean,
I
if
don't
you're
know. I
already
mean, I
Terra,
think
I
against
don't know.
fake out, having protect is pretty valuable. But yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, and the flinch as
not
well.
very
I mean, the flinch was happening no matter what because of the fake out, right? So yeah, not moving it. I thought for a second that was a Fiery Wrath flinch, but no, that was a fake out flinch. So yeah, the Sandstorm will finish off that Moltres at long last, but Moltres has more than done its part. And now we see Lantern coming back out, still 100%, and again Suicune on the other side. Not a lot of HP left across the Commander squad. What will happen next? We see a Tailwind from Suicune, Terra Blast, and the Terra Flying Tyranitar.
not
Doesn't
doing much damage
kill,
here.
but yeah,
I'm a
surprisingly
little
little.
shocked at how little
Yeah,
that did because
only 60%.
Hitmontop is not a bulky Pokemon, and you've only got I guess you do have the one attack drop, but still.
Yeah, the Intimidate drop. I mean, Hitmontop is especially bulky, but I doubt it's special Tyranitar. So yeah, a little bit. I'm a little surprised that does not finish that Hitmontop off, but does 60% to Hitmontop. The Tailwind does come out, but now Hitmontop can Rock Slide, and that's not what you want when you're Terra Flying Tyranitar.
Mhm.
So overall, not getting a lot of value out of this Tyranitar. Getting a little more chip into Suicune, again 15%. This is a game of 15%, just over and over again. And the Electro Web does go out, getting Suicune down to that 3%. And now we have the Sand finishing the Suicune off,
Yep.
and we're down to just a Weezing
2%.
in the Sand, 2%. I mean, a double protect wins this game, so it is completely over. Does go for the protect, not going to allow the Umbreon's Bash to pad those damage stats with another 2 points. Just gonna die to the Sandstorm. A noble death with a
Respect.
wheezing.
Go out with a little dignity.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
you definitely, because keeping Wheezing in the back did nothing for you. You definitely could have just sacked it
Just sacked
earlier
it.
for the free pivot.
And then let Meganium have like health to maybe get a screen,
Yeah,
anything really. Alrighty, we'll move on. Game 2. What will be the adjustments? How will things change? This time we see for Alligator and Hitmontop. So different lead. I like that. It's a bold move to change your lead when you win. Not something I usually go for, but I respect it. I respect it a lot. This time, the Bash going with a different lead, but also on the other side makes a lot more sense. Commanders changing up the lead as well. This time, the Hitmontop lead kind of perfect into this Meganium Tyranitar. I mean, Tyranitar is kind of forced to Terra Flying again in the face of this Hitmontop. And even if all things, everything else aside, I think the attack drop is obviously quite nice into that Tyranitar. So yeah, Sands are coming up and the Meganiums out on the field. The Meganium can pressure the Feraligatr a little bit with those grass type attacks, but without attack investment,
yeah. Unfortunately, Meganium is like bad, and so we'll see the Giga Drain come out. In very embarrassing fashion, I would say.
Yeah, so it's not Assault Vest, by the way. This is because we see Protect from Tyranitar.
Yeah,
So
that's
no
true.
Assault Vest there. Yeah, the Fake Out makes a lot of sense to protect that. The Ice Punch goes into Meganium. I like
And
that Ice Punch.
Yaki Berry.
Yaki Bear, I'm
This one
shocked.
was, yeah, I was very surprised by that.
I
Because
mean,
James did not have any ice types, so to go Yaki Berry to predict the ice punch on
Ice Punch.
Feraligatr
Yeah.
and go for Yaki Berry, because that has to be the thought process, you know? There's no other reason.
Yeah. There's no, I mean, Ice Beam?
And it was
There's no
relevant.
real Ice Beam users either.
Ice
Yeah.
Beam Lantern?
I
Or
don't
Ice Beam?
know. So Yaki Berry, absolutely nuts. I think I would have preferred still to have a light clay and just get a screen up. But
Maybe, yeah.
yeah, the Yaki Berry, I mean, it does its job here. It does its job. I mean, you would only take 40% without it. So I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, it does its job once.
And the light
And light
screen
screen, I would definitely have gone for
way.
reflect here.
Yeah, you're into double physical, so I don't think that is the screen you're looking for, generally speaking. But yeah, that's turn 1. Sandstorm chips everyone other than Tyranitar. And going to turn 2, we see that Terra flying. Kind of
Have to get
not
to.
really negotiable there. So into Hitmontop, just too much threat from that Hitmontop. The Brick Break goes into the
There it is.
Tyranitar
There's the Giga
immediately.
Drain. I mean, 41%.
Ooh,
It's like that's not even half.
that is
It's pretty
pretty
bad.
weak. I almost would prefer you to just get another screen.
Yeah, a reflect, for instance.
Yeah, but yeah, this Giga Drain does 40%. That's a super effective Giga Drain.
Yeah,
This is such a weak Pokemon.
it's
Okay,
a weak Pokemon.
yeah, so the Giga Drain
It's like
comes
because
out,
it's
and
like
then we see
split.
close
It's like
combat as
90
well.
and 90, I think, on like attack and special attack or
Yeah,
something like that.
the screen didn't even get it because the Brick Break gets rid of it. I like the Brick Break, but I kind of would have liked. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of fine, whatever, because you threaten the Tyranitar big time here. So what does Tyranitar go for? The Terra Blast. Again, it just
Way more
can't
damage this
kill.
time, but the
That's because of
intimidate.
the fake out drop that it did more
Yeah,
damage. So
the
that's
close
just like
combat
if
drop.
it's effectively neutral. Yeah, sorry, close combat drop. It's effectively neutral and still can't one shot that Hitmontop. Brutal.
Crazy.
Hitmontop is a beast. What will we see turn 2? Even with the Sandstorm chip, Hitmontop still living, still giving us one more turn of action. What will happen from this for Alligator? We see the Terra Ice with the Ice Punch into the Kangaskhan, doing 49%, getting it down to that 13% mark. And then Giga Drain finishing off Hitmontop. At least Meganium has the speed to outspeed that Hitmontop, which will protect Tyranitar for one more turn. And we see the Terra Blast. Obviously not aware that that Ice type Terra was coming out, so probably didn't want to go for any Rock type moves. But yeah,
Hmm.
Terra Blast, 30% only to the tanky for alligator. And what will come out next? Sandstorm chip hits everybody. No one going down. Lantern hitting the field. And we see a protect from Tyranitar. Ice Punch goes into the Meganium, bringing it down very low. We
I'll bury
see
this time.
Giga Drain instantly killing
Yeah,
the Lantern.
instantly kills Lantern. I mean, you kind of make up for the pitiful showing against Feraligatr by just making short work of Lantern, and that's like a big
Is
heal too.
is for Alligator possibly Assault Vest? Because I
That
like
is quite possible.
because like it's not like Lantern is frail, and I mean
No,
that
I
was a
mean
crit Giga Drain. To be fair,
Lantern is not especially bulky, but it has a lot of HP. So
yeah.
I don't really know.
I mean that was a crit Giga Drain, but like still, I would expect a little more out of Giga Drain onto for Alligator if it's not Assault Vest. Because we haven't seen it protect. We've only seen it Ice Punch and Brick Break so far. So it's very possible that this is an AV for Alligator. And you know what? Actually, thinking about the Gen 1, James's previous team, the EVs, what was it? EV's Backyard Bash?
Eevee's
The
backyard
previous
back.
Bash iteration, James preferred a lot of Assault Vest on Kangaskhan. And one thing James
Hmm.
told me when we were chatting was that they wanted a Kangaskhan like, and I think I think the Feraligatr is fitting that bill. So
Yeah.
that is all of my evidence to point to. I think this is an Assault Vest for Alligator. So we'll see if I'm right by the end of the game, or we won't actually, but we might be. I could be proven wrong, but I can't really be proven right. Yeah, but that Giga Drain's going to heal Meganium up almost, well, I mean, a huge amount, 70% or something like that. But yeah, the chip from the Sandstorm getting Tyranitar to 1% and for Alligator down to 4. So those Pokemon are in extreme danger. We are going to see the Fiery Wrath come out from that Moltres very quick on that Pokemon. The Ice Punch will finish off Meganium, and for Alligator has done its duty, will die to that Sandstorm. Oh no, the Sandstorm ends. The Sandstorm ends very conveniently right before for Alligator is going to die. And again, Tyranitar not getting a lot. It's really just Togetic and Suicune trying to finish off the Moltres and Feraligatr combo. So this Fiery Wrath, pretty extraordinarily weak into these two Pokemon. Very, very specially bulky Pokemon. Also resisted by the Togetic. Meanwhile, we can get a nice Ice Punch into that Togetic out of Feraligatr, but the Feraligatr doesn't have much time to live on this Earth with how little HP it has. Nice flinch.
Flinch and a setup, so you get one more turn out of Feraligatr here.
Yes, exactly. So Feraligatr should be able to do something. We see the Air Slash into the Suicune, 15% chip. We are going to see the Ice Punch finishing off the Togetic. Togetic didn't get to do anything. Terra Blast will finish out. That's just a normal type Terra Blast. Interesting, huh? I mean,
That's
literally
wild.
any move would have been enough to get the 4% you needed. But you know,
Just
pop
an
off, I
arbitrary attack.
guess. Yeah, so that finishes off for Alligator, and now we are going to see some Air Slashes. We see Air Slash number 1. I think so. There's no way Umbreon's Bash is definitely fishing for a flinch here, because
Yeah.
if you allow Suicune to use another Calm Mind, or you allow it to hit you, because it's going to do more damage to you than you can do to it, uh, you will lose. So what you need is the flinches to kind of give, since you have the speed advantage, the flinches can compound that advantage into actually winning you this game. It's very possible to win. So the Air Slash goes down, no flinch, second Air Slash in a row. It's a 30% chance, by the way. So we see 15% knocked off, down to 50%, eats the berry up to 75 on Suicune. The return Scald will do 38% to that Moltres. Next turn, we see another Air Slash, 15% more. No flinch. The Scald hits that Moltres, and we're down to 20%. Need a flinch to have really any chance. The berry does come out, getting it to 43. That means Moltres can basically take about 2 more hits, but it needs 4 hits in response to finish off Suicune. So it's going to be pretty close here. The flinches are needed
Doesn't it?
22%. Yeah, so we need we need basically one flinch, I think, at this point. The Scald goes out. Now Moltres down to 1%, which means Moltres needs to land 2 air slashes in a row, which is possible with even a singular flinch. We have seen 4 air slashes of that 30% flinch chance. Not quite doing it. Air slash once again, 23%. If you get the flinch here, it's game over. It's victory for the Bash. This is the 5th air slash, but no flinch. Once again, the Scald will finish off the Moltres, and that is, we're going to a game 3. Crazy unlucky on the air slashes because I thought when I watched this live, I was like, I'm pretty sure even one air slash flinch would win this game, but now watching it back and looking at the numbers, it's definitely true. So to miss,
no, it's 100% true because you got the buff from Berserk also.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you had the damage to take it home. With just one flinch, you would have done it.
Any flinch at any point. Oh my goodness. I mean, I think you kind of also need the flinch after the Berserk pops off, to be fair, but still, I mean, crazy. I also think it's pretty knife's edge on the other side as well, because if you are living with 1%, that's probably a roll. That's probably a roll. Like, it's very possible that Scald could have just killed you right there. Excuse me, sorry. And it definitely can, because we do see a Scald with 42% here. In the previous one, we see a Scald with 43. So that 1% was within the roll. So just, yeah, crazy RNG. Very exciting stuff in this game, too.
And now we are going to game 3.
And now we are going to game 3. Let us wrap
this up. One of the longest series we've seen.
Yeah, this is a long review of games, but man, there's some interesting ones. And Gen 2 is just slow, I gotta be honest. It's just a Gen 2 thing. But yeah, here we go. Lantern lead with the Feraligatr. Feraligator's been going crazy.
Greenlee's game was like one of the fastest we've seen.
Yeah, that was pretty fast. And my game 1 was really fast too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, this time we see Togetic Tyranitar, a classic lead. Your back's against the wall. Go to something you're familiar with, and this definitely will work for the command. I mean, this is definitely a strong combo for the commanders. Let's see how it plays out. So we do see turn 1 instant switch into Meganium. I'm not so sure what this is. I mean, Meganium has good matchups into these Pokemon. That's for
I guess you're just afraid of Feraligatr and Tyranitar. Because you can't Terra Flying in front of Lantern, and then Feraligatr just threatens your damage.
Me for that. I mean, isn't that kind of the point of
yeah. I don't know. I don't really get the switch. Maybe it's because you have like a stronger matchup into Feraligatr with Meganium, and you're just gonna follow me to get the free switch.
Follow me to protect Meganium now. I mean, I get it because I mean Meganium does match up into both of these pretty well, but. The Ice Punch will just go out into the Togetic and get the instant freeze.
But then you get the freeze.
And this is why we know it is not sheer force. It is not sheer force for Alligator.
True.
Because it's a 10% chance to freeze on that, which would be negated by sheer force and give you 30% more damage. Which means that for Alligator, this whole time... Go ahead.
I mean, I hate to interrupt the no sheer force train, but Togetic didn't use Follow Me here either, so just kind of a risky switch.
Yeah. I don't know what we will never know what Togetic was going for.
We will never know because it got frozen. So yeah, no sheer force on Feraligatr, which means
it could have been doing 30% more damage with all these Ice Punches the whole time. The only other ability is Torrent. The only other ability is Torrent.
So it's Torrent.
It's just Torrent for Alligator.
So did both of the competitors in this particular matchup this week forget to use the good abilities on their respective Pokemon, Sheer Force and Neutralizing Gas?
Funnily enough, when you're Ice Punching this many times, I mean, I don't know, it's probably still definitely worth it to have Sheer Force because 30% more damage on every punch would probably be better than this one.
Yeah, way better.
But you did Ice Punch 10 times. I mean, we've seen the stats. I've run the numbers. And for Alligator, Ice Punches 10 times. So actually, it's not even really lucky that you get the freeze. It's just expected because it's a 10% chance. and you ice punched 10 times. So it was kind of bound to happen if you think about it. But yeah, freeze instantly onto the no sheer force. Freeze goes into the Togetic. And we see the Volt Switch also to the Togetic. Togetic getting absolutely bullied. Doesn't get to do anything in this series. Very sad Togetic game. And the freeze, we won't know what that Togetic was going for. The sand does chip everybody, and Moltres comes out as a result of the Volt Switch. Nice switch there. And then Nasty Plot, super free. I mean, it's a frozen Togetic and a Meganium that threatens you not at all. Very nice Nasty Plot, setting up the Blitzen. And then, of course, the Yachi Berry protecting you from the Ice Punch on the Meganium. I mean, good, I guess. And now we see Heal Pulse going
Heal
from
Pulse and
Meganium.
Togetic.
You're healing the frozen Togetic, but Togetic
support your support.
Frozen, so it doesn't really do much. Sandstorm getting a little more out. We do see the pivot into Suicune, but this is a second Nasty Plot from. I mean, but why not?
You get to.
Why not? There's really no reason not to. It's a frozen Pokemon.
You are allowed. You are allowed to do that.
It's so you are just. Oh my goodness, so strong on this Moltres now. And I just don't know that the Commanders have a very good tool to remove it. The Ice Punch won't do a lot into Suicune, so it's a nice switch, definitely to tank that. But the frozen Togetic, I mean, it obviously can't do anything. So yeah, Fiery Wrath finally fired off with all these boosts. Does big damage. I mean, 54 and 27. 27 is even after a resist into that. Togetic does pop the berry from the Suicune, and we will see a Body Slam. Okay, so it's Brick Break, Body Slam, Ice Punch. It's Brick Break, Body Slam, Ice Punch. And then probably Liquidation. So I feel like it's definitely Assault Vest, which would explain why you're taking
it's 100% Assault Vest. Yeah. But you really want Sheer Force.
Yeah, Sheer Force. Sheer Force is better.
But you know what? Having Sheer Force got you the freeze and the para. So,
I mean, screw Sheer Force. Who needs 30% damage when you can just get all the status effects? I mean, in this game, it makes Sheer Force.
And you got the full para.
Yeah, this game.
Did you get the full para?
I think it did. Yeah. So the freeze thaws out. We finally see a move, but the flinch happens on the same turn from the Fiery Wrath and the full para. Because nothing coming out. Oh my god. I mean, this game is making Sheer Force for Alligator look stupid. When you could have...
Yeah, why would you ever want that?
Why would you want that trash when you could freeze and paralyze everybody? All right, the Sandstorm's chipping a little bit more. I mean, the chip from the Sandstorm is really adding up. But this Fire Wrath, I mean, with 3 times special attack from Moltres.
You didn't even need that at that point, but yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, between the Sandstorm
but
and the spread chip, it's like, it's got to do numbers in this next lead. I mean, just Tyranitar coming out alongside the Meganium. We do see the Sandstorm back up to do a little bit more chip. I mean, I think Sandstorm has done more damage than all of the Commander's Pokemon combined. I think that's just a fact. I think
in this game, yeah.
I don't has the Commanders done damage?
I don't think they used a single move.
I don't think they've done a single point.
They didn't attack at all. They didn't make an attack. I think we're about to see the first attack coming out of Tyranitar.
Tyranitar right here, yeah. The Ice Punch gets 29% off.
Here it is.
Tyranitar. And the Ice Punch in return, 54%, activating the Berserk, 3.5.
You should have just used Rock Slide, though.
Yeah, it would have been double super effective.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just use Rock Slide on that turn?
I mean, you're cooked no matter what, but the Sandstorm comes out.
But at least if you use Rock Slide.
Protect. Just delays this game, and yeah, I mean, we have even a Brick Break to come out. The Sandstorm chipping even more. Terra Flying will protect you from this Brick Break, but also make you weak enough to the Fire Wrath that you just die, and that is the game.
So you got one. You had one attack, and it was not the right one.
I mean, it no joke, the sandstorm did more damage than the entire team.
I actually think like if you'd use rock slide because that's stab that would have done a lot more damage. Um, Probably. And if you crit, like maybe there's a world where you killed both of them. Probably not.
No, probably
But
not. I think
yeah,
it's
definitely
dead.
not for alligator because the bulk. But
I mean, super effective against Alligator too, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah, but it's so physically tanky and it's such high HP. It probably wouldn't have killed.
It is not a good day when you use one move and lose.
Yeah,
It's really not a good day. Oh my god. I mean, no, that's not true. Two moves. There was a life do. Don't forget the life do.
it wasn't life dew. It was a heal pulse,
Heal
right?
pulls. That sorry. Don't forget the
Yeah,
heal pull.
but that's not an attacking move.
One attack.
I was thinking about that.
One attack. All right. Well, that was quite the review. That was a lot of games. That was almost 2 hours
Yeah,
of review. Kind of insane. But we had some great games. I had a lot of fun with this. Thank you for joining me,
of course,
Carter. Happy to have
absolutely.
you. And I'm really excited to look ahead at our matchups for next week. But that will be in a separate video. Please check that out. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm signing off. See ya.
Goodbye.